And next, our national education team. I'm going to bring them over. And we have for Willa, Tara, and Mr. Happy Hat are here. These folks are the ones that set up this entire area, got everything ready to go. They're the ones that make this competition happen. So let's give them a big round of applause. Chef Paul is going to be the one if you have logistics questions during the competition day. He's the one that will know where everything is. And he's got some logistics rules and guidelines for you about where to go and what to do next. So off to Chef Paul.
Welcome. First of all, some safety things. Obviously, being cognizant aware of our surroundings and other competitors. This contest is not all about you. To some extent it is, but obviously there's other people in the field of play, so be careful. If you have a cut, please identify it to me. I'll bandage it up and say, okay, off you go, and no problem most of the time. But if it's something that's beyond an area of my expertise where I think it needs medical attention, or at least somebody else to say, hey, you're probably going to need stitches, that's up to you and your advisor at that point in time to make that decision to tape it up and move on, or seek medical attention immediately. Okay, it doesn't happen very often, but 99% of the time we'll tape you up and send you on your way. Okay. These floors are not designed, they're not kitchen floors, so when they get wet, they do get slippery. So watch your running and expedited walking. That you're at least foot on the ground, especially around the dish areas. We do have mats in place to kind of help alleviate some of that. Within your station areas, obviously keeping them clean and clear. If you have a spill, we expect you to stop and clean it up. That's part of the contest. If that occurs, that's your mess. You clean it up. Okay, we'll assist you. We'll get towels. We'll get a trash can. We'll help you do it, but it's up to you to kind of make sure it gets done. Hot pans, obviously knife when you're walking through the kitchen, and things of that nature. Corner stations. Those of you that are on corner stations, and those of you that are not on corner stations, those are not your stations. Okay, so if this is my station and this is a corner, I don't expect you to take a shortcut and cut through my station to get to your station down the aisle. Okay, walk out to the middle of the aisle and then walk down. Okay, especially true over on the center table where the common tables are at, the rice and oils and vinegars and things like that. Okay, especially on the inside corners too where the herb refrigerator is. Okay, and that type of stuff. So don't make that corner because you're cutting into somebody else's space or somebody else's area. Okay. We do have cable risers over the power strip, over the feeder cables and the electrical going in between the stoves and refrigerators on the back lines. Okay, so when you're going through, after you get through orientation here, go walk on one, stand on one, just so you kind of get the feel. They're not anchored to the floor, so they do give and move a little bit. So kind of make sure that you're aware of that feel. Also, can we get some yellow tape? Yellow or red or safety tape or something like that. We're going to get some yellow tape on them. Right now they're just wood color, so they're kind of hard to kind of see, especially with this floor. So we'll try and get some yellow tape on them tonight before you come back tomorrow. Okay, but just be aware. So every line, at the end of every line, when you cross to get to your refrigerators, you're going to have to cross over one at some point in time. Dish area. The setup will be when you come in first thing in the morning, you'll have a red bucket on your station. This is on Thursday. The right-hand sink will be full of sanitized solution. You'll just have to come over and dip. It's already set and ready to go. Or a spray bottle or whatever you have. Hold on, questions just a little bit. Okay. So then, if you need more, at some point in time during the day, just dump it out, change it, wash your bucket, get fresh. Okay, that's up to you. You're in a 5-hour competition. Hopefully you're changing your water at least once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times during the day. Okay. The far sink behind the number 2 water heater on the other side when you first come in will be set up to wash your poultry. okay, or your salmon if you choose to do that. Okay, as the flights get going and we're into the first 8, the second 8, the third 8, the fourth 8, then we start to open up the other sinks as dishwashing, pot washing stations. Okay, these 2 outside ones are the ones closest to the center aisle, are for washing vegetables, filling up with water for your pots and pans, anything of that nature. Same thing, the 2 hands, these are designated hand sinks here in the center, but you can fill up if nobody's there, and this is the closest one, you want to get water for a pot, use that one, that one's fine. Okay, so, and at some point in time, probably around 9:30 or 10 o'clock, we'll turn all the pot sinks over into pot washing stations. Okay, and again, you'll work from the outside in. So this one is wash, rinse, sanitize, that one's wash, rinse, sanitize. The center table on both sides is clean. Okay. When you go through, and obviously in the heat of the competition, and you're going and you're washing, you're setting stuff down, it's okay to let stuff air dry for a little while. But the courtesy court people are instructed to let me know if that stuff's there for a half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, then that tells me that you don't know what's there. Okay, and then that comes back to me, and then I'll tell the lead judge that contestant number 94, isn't taking care of their stuff, just a little note, dock them a point on their organization and mise en place. Okay, so just to kind of be aware of that type of thing occurring. Also, same thing, if you dump your stuff and it's dirty and you leave it there, okay, that's not good either. Okay, it's not our job during the competition and the courtesy court staff to wash your pots and pans. It's to facilitate the area so you can do it yourself. Okay, we will change the water, we will keep the water clean and fresh, we will do all of that stuff throughout the course of the day. As it gets busy, they will jump in and help to some extent, but that's part of your timeline. If you use 5 pots and I use 1 pot, I only have to wash 1 pot. Although you may have 17 or 12 pieces of equipment over there, how well have you organized your menu and your thoughts to use 1 pot 3 or 4 times for the same thing? Okay, so that's going to be how well efficiently you think, and how obviously part of the the advisors and things, and how well you've been coached to this point of where you're at today or tomorrow. Any liquid refuse, any liquid, like if you're frying something or anything of that nature is liquid, we've got a little plastic hand sink here that'll have a bucket in it and a colander just to drain anything liquid in there. I'll strain it out and get the junk out and dump the liquid down the drain. We don't want any solids going down the drain. I don't want to back up across this floor because that'll stop the competition when the plumbers have to come in here. Okay? If we have reusable stuff or stuff that's left over or extra, like when you're done with your salads, I'll ask for any of your extra dressings all to come to a table. I don't know if I'm going to have it on that side or this side yet, but I'll know tomorrow or Thursday when you're here. Same thing with soup. All your soup I'll take in one place. All your leftover chicken, all your leftover salmon, all your leftover starch, all your leftover vegetables, and then we'll set those aside and get them panned up and wrapped up and cooled down for the harvesters of the soup kitchen across the street, and they'll pick it up on Friday to serve their clients. Okay? And I'll call for that. Same thing if you have leftover vegetables that if you've taken half as a full zucchini, you only need half, bring the other half back to the storage table, which will be in this area here somewhere. Okay? Good. I think Chef Beachey mentioned paper goods. That's cups and plastic wrap and foil and cheesecloth and toothpicks and skewers and cups and spoons and all that stuff is going to be over there this year, which is different from last year for those of you who've been here before. Extra equipment is across the top and the left of the hand sinks. Your stations on your inventory list, and I'll go over that in a second, have a list of things that are there. If you feel that, gosh, I've got to have this, you're more than welcome to go use it. Okay? If you're going to use it, please wash it and put it back. Okay? Especially the mixing bowls. The mixing bowls are going to be the hardest thing. If you guys didn't bring extra or your own, I think they're on the equipment list this year. So the mixing bowls are going to be the, probably the first thing to go as far as in numbers. Okay, but there's knives and channel knives and zesters and peelers and paring knives and scrapers and things that, you know, strainers, whatever. So if you're missing, if you got a spoon, need to borrow a spoon, borrow it, use it, put it back. Checkout list. You guys get the pleasure of helping me break this down in about an hour when it takes about 5 hours or 6 hours to set it up. Okay, so before your critique at the end of the day on Thursday, this floor will basically be empty and clear. They're stacked and organized as far as empty. Okay, all your tables will be broken down, plastic off, stacked in a certain area of your table blocks, and we'll go over that on Thursday. You have a inventory list that's on your station or will be on your station on Thursday. Okay, so when you have that inventory list, this is what you get. Okay, all the stations have 99% of the stuff. Like some stations may have a half sheet pan and not a quarter sheet pan. Stuff has just gotten lost along the way, and we don't have replacements other than what's available over here. You have other things that you can use to replace a quarter sheet pan. You have your foil pans, you have pie pans, you have other things that you have a piece of foil. You have things that will work to be the same function as that quarter sheet pan. Same thing with lids. You have things that will work as a lid besides a lid. Okay, think. Okay, so when you get done on Thursday, station number 18, guess what? All those pots on that station are numbered 18. So everything on this checkout list needs to be returned to the station and clean. At that point in time when they're clean, we'll ask you to put them in a bag. The bags will then go on the floor or on a stack of tables where we have that. We'll break the table down, take it off the block, stack the table, stack the blocks. Okay, sweep and mop the floors. We'll unhook the stoves, push all the stoves together in banks, and get ready for your critique at the end of the day. Courtesy core, I have one or two here now. Obviously, what color shirt you wearing tomorrow? Wednesday, Thursday. What's Thursday? Okay, Thursday's yellow. So, please, you can ask them questions. You can ask me questions. Like your question, where's the rice? I'm going to say it's there. If you ask me where's the arboreal rice, I'm going to say the rice is there. Okay, so if you don't know what arboreal rice is, then I can't help. That's a question I can't answer. That's a question that judges can't answer. I will show you or tell you where something's at in a generalistic area, but which one of these is basil? If you don't know which one is basil, then okay, so there's a question. I'll tell you where the basil is at, but you have to figure out which one it is. Okay. Do I have any? At the end of the day, if you don't want your towels and things like that, I've got a bucket over here. I'll take your dirty towels. I'll be glad to take them home and wash them and use them for my school, which I teach in Kansas City, so probably a school much like yours. So, any questions from that point? Yes, ma'am. Can you get the sanitation buckets during your setup time? Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.